New York, along with Charleston, was one of the biggest slave ports in America. But here's the tragedy that Sharpton is not talking about. We went from being soulless slaves to becoming the biggest consumers in America today.
This is the Publisher's Desk with Damon K. Jones, brought to you by Black Westchester Magazine, where life, culture, community, and faith meet truth, power, and purpose.
Peace and blessings, everybody. Welcome back to the Publisher's Desk. I'm Damon K. Jones, publisher of Black Westchester, blackwestchester.com. Today, I want to speak on something that's been heavy on my mind. Reverend Al Sharpton and the National Action Network just held a march on Wall Street. Now, I have respect for Reverend Al Sharpton, and I respect Nan's legacy. But family, I have to be honest. This march, it misses the mark. And I'm being critical out of love for National Action Network, out of love for Al Sharpton, and out of love for Black America. And today I'm going to explain why. Let's start with history. Reverend Sharpton reminded us that Wall Street was built on slavery. And he's right. Black bodies were once traded there like cattle. New York, along with Charleston, was one of the biggest slave ports in America. But here's the tragedy that Sharpton is not talking about. We went from being soulless slaves to becoming the biggest consumers in America today. Now we're slaves to an economy that we do not own. And I want to be clear on this. That's not Wall Street's fault. That's our understanding of economics and what we failed to teach our children about ownership. Now let's look at the facts, not feelings. I want to stay with the facts. See, because it seems like we could get Black people caught up in feelings and emotions, and we miss the facts. And then we get mad at the outcomes when the outcomes are not in Black people's favor. So let's look at the facts. Black America spends $1.7 trillion a year. That's more than the GDP of Mexico. And yet only 39% of Black families own stock compared to 66% of white families. Right here in Westchester County, one of the richest counties in the country. Black people, nearly 15% of the population here in Westchester, New York, and just 3% of the businesses. We march on Wall Street, but how many of us are shareholders with the stocks on Wall Street? The contradiction that we don't want to talk about. Let's make it plain again. We spend $63 billion on grooming and beauty care. Sisters running around with the long eyelashes and the weaves, but don't have stocks and bonds. We spend $50 billion on fast food, and we wonder why we have high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and diabetes. And we spend billions more on sneakers, cars, and designer labels. But we don't have any businesses. We're not spending all that money with us. But we have the audacity to march on Wall Street. Other communities circulate their dollars in their community for weeks. But in Black America, the dollar leaves our community in less than 24 hours. Some economics studies say 6 hours. We don't just spend, we export wealth. And once it's gone in the Black community. So protests may give us headlines, but ownership gives us the leverage to ride the bull and not protest the bull. That's what the bull represents, is ownership. Not marching and begging for them to do something for us when Wall Street doesn't create legislation. And here's another truth, a hard truth for Black people. For Sharpton to bring Zoran Mandami into this march misses the real issue. His politics are everything Black economics doesn't need. Rent freezes, government-run grocery stores, corporate tax hikes. These don't create Black businesses. They don't teach ownership. They don't build wealth. What it does, it makes Black people more dependent on politics. Dependency is not independence. Black America doesn't need more programs to keep us begging. We need leaders that will challenge us, take responsibility, build, invest, and control our economic destiny. Now let's bring it closer to home. Imagine if every Black church in America started an investment club. Thousands of new Black investors in 1 year. Imagine a pastor guiding young couples in their 30s to put money away, a few $100s a month to invest. By retirement, that couple could be sitting on $1 million portfolio. That's not fantasy. That's just math. But you won't get that type of teaching at a march. You only get from stewardship, from responsibility, from leaders who believe in ownership, not dependency. Even the Bible speaks clearly on this. Proverbs says the borrower is a servant to the lender. Hosea warns, my people are destroyed by the lack of knowledge. And James reminds us, faith without works is dead. God didn't excuse poverty by blaming Pharaoh. He confronted the people for poor stewardship. Family, we have $1.7 trillion in spending power. And if we are still broke, it's not because of Wall Street. It's not because of racism. It's because we wasted what God has given us. History shows the blueprint, Tulsa, Durham, Bronzeville. Whenever we build strong institutions, we prosper. And I don't want to hear, well, the white man came and burned it down. Okay, well, then we build it again. That doesn't change the blueprint that we did it. We had banks, schools, insurance companies, businesses, and thriving communities. When you say, well, they came and burned it down like we shouldn't do it again, that's slave-minded mentality. Yes, racism destroyed them. But here's the question. What stops us from building a Tulsa today? With the $1.7 trillion we spend a year? What stops us from creating banks online, media outlets, investment funds, and businesses across every industry? The only thing stops us is us. We are the leaders in every culture move that makes Black people are the leaders, but we don't control the businesses. We can't beg our way to freedom. We can't march our way to independence. If that was the case, we will be independent with all the marches we do in 1 year. We have to build it. And that means circulating our dollars in Black businesses, teaching our children basic investing, building institutions that will outlast us, and refusing to confuse spending power with real economic power. Family, I leave you with this. We can't keep shouting at the bull on Wall Street. It doesn't hear us. We have to learn how to ride the bull. This is Damon K. Jones, the publisher of Black Westchester. Let's stop marching for recognition and start building for ownership and real power. Thank you again, and may you stay blessed, stay safe, and always stay Blacktastic. Peace out.
Rep the movement. Get your official Black Westchester merch today. hoodies, tees, and more at blackwestchestermerch.shop. Wear your voice, make a statement.
Tired of the same emotional politics that lead nowhere. Emotional Politics, Logical Failure by Damon K. Jones is the book Black America needs right now. It exposes the lies, challenges the gatekeepers, and calls for real strategy, not just symbolism. Power starts with truth. On sale, now, and available in audiobook on Amazon.
Tolerance is for Cowards by Damon K. Jones. This book is not anti-police, it's pro-community. Discover how the extended policing strategy empowers you to demand real public safety, justice, and accountability from your local police department. Because the Black community deserves good policing. On sale now on Amazon and Audible. Discover Jesus and Divine Black Masculinity by Damon K. Jones. This a bold blueprint to restore faith, manhood, and purpose in Black America. Because the Black community needs good Black men. Available now on Amazon. If you found this video informative, don't forget to like and share it with others who need to hear the truth. And for exclusive content and behind-the-scenes access, join the Black Westchester Magazine YouTube membership club today. Your support helps us keep independent Black media strong. Support independent Black media with style. Rock Black Westchester merch and represent the news with the Black point of view. Every purchase helps us speak truth to power.
This is the Publisher's Desk with Damon K. Jones, brought to you by Black Westchester Magazine, where life, culture, community, and faith meet truth, power, and purpose.